They're a group of women who hold powerful positions in Washington, representing Michigan in the House and the Senate.
Senator Debbie Stabenow, the first woman to the Senate from Michigan, Representative Brenda Lawrence, co-chair of the Congressional Women's Caucus, Representative Debbie Dingell, who blazed trails in business and Congress, and Representative Rashida Tlaib, one of the first Muslim women elected to Congress.
As we celebrate Women's History Month, Grant Harms shows us how they are breaking barriers.
No child, no woman, no man should ever have to go through that.
When it comes to Michigan's voices in the halls of power,
I believe in listening to people, hearing what they really have to say.
Over half the population of the country finally had a voice.
Many of those voices are female.
It's incredibly humble. Sometimes I'm still, like pinching my arms thinking, I'm a United States Congresswoman.
From state government to the governor's office to 6 of the state's 14 congressional districts and Michigan's senior senator, Michigan is represented by some of the nation's most prominent women.
I say to every woman, I'm standing here, you have my shoulders, but only if you do it right. When I first went to Congress, now going on 7 years ago, it was very reminding of the fact that we are such a small minority.
Each have their own story to tell about the struggles of being taken seriously in Congress.
In 2001, there were 13 women at the time out of 100, and it was the first time ever in the history of the country that there were enough women to have one woman on every committee.
There were times when I would offer a suggestion, then a man would say, that's a great idea, but I had learned to say, I think it's a great idea. That's why I said it 5 minutes ago.
Dismissiveness, often giving way to discrimination.
I had many moments of sexual harassment, sexual discrimination. I had some horrific moments that people are now resigning and losing jobs over. And in those days, when I was really scared, I got told, live with it or leave.
But they didn't leave, leaning on each other and other women who helped pave their way.
Was Senator Barbara Mikulski from Maryland. She was the dean of the Appropriations Committee when I came, and she used to laugh because the traditional way that women came into the Senate was as a spouse, and their husband died, and then they would be elected. So she said she was the first woman that came in where some man didn't have to die for her to get there.
Aretha Franklin. She said, I like seeing you on TV because I like seeing a Black woman in the position of Congress speaking up. She said, make sure you always know that you're representing women everywhere.
And women everywhere now looking to Michigan for their advice.
And what they did for me is what I have to do for future generations. We have a responsibility to each other, and I take that very seriously.
It is kind of weird and strange. I don't think of myself that way. I certainly didn't start out to be a trailblazer.
Never lose sight on the fact that I'm the only African American in the Michigan delegation. I'm a Black woman. You can't walk away from that. It's not a burden. It is a reality that I embrace.
An embrace that also means embracing the next group of voices, with Michigan women leading the way.
The Old Boys Network has been alive and well for a long time, and the Girls Network needs to support each other.
I'm just trying to show them, you see, if you just move aside, boys, and let me show you how it's done, you might actually learn from me.
I am so proud of all the women that I know who every day step out, put their lipstick on, put those stilettos on, and we get to work.
Now, one thing all of these women said was a major milestone, the election of Vice President Harris. They said it was so important to see a woman in the White House, and they say their sights are set next on the Oval Office. In Detroit, Grant Harms, Local 4.